Hello and welcome to the Elemental Entrepreneurship Podcast. The elements are a metaphor, a simple organizational system to help us understand business and ourselves as business owners. And they are the components of nature, the roots of magic, and the building blocks of life. We all have some aspects of life and business where we thrive and others that are more challenging. By looking at these things elementally, we remove shame and judgment and can discern which elements would help us bring ourselves into balance. Earth, root chakra, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Earth rules the parts of business that keep us safe and secure as we do our soul work. Sustainability, finances, contracts, systems, our core values, and clarity about exactly what our medicine is and how we fit into the ecosystem are governed by Earth element. Air, heart and third eye chakra, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Air rules our big vision, our ultimate picture of success. It's where we connect our medicine to a mission and decide what kind of impact we want to create during our time on this planet. Water, sacral chakra, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is the realm of our emotions, and business is emotional. How we feel about people, ourselves, visibility, uncertainty, how we handle stress and disappointment, all of this and more affects how you navigate your business. Water element is where we learn to resource ourselves and expand our capacity to hold the big feelings that come with doing our work in the world. Fire, solar plexus chakra, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Fire is where we take our gifts, our uniqueness, and our creations, and we blaze them out into the world. All things selling, marketing, and the day-to-day actions of running our business are ruled by fire. Too much fire and we burn out. Not enough and our business never makes it off the ground. And spirit, crown chakra. Every good gardener knows the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Spirit rules the faith required to keep tending your business long before you've seen a single sprout of evidence that it's growing. No matter what you believe in, spirit element is what you travel through after you leap and before you land. Life thrives when all of the elements are in balance. So do you, and so will your business. To find out your dominant element, take our quiz at intuitiveedgecoaching.com/quiz. Now let's get into today's episode.
Hello and welcome to the Elemental Entrepreneurship Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah. I'm so glad you're here. We are dropping in today with the Pisces season reading for the collective. I am now doing these live on YouTube, so at the beginning you're going to hear a little intro about who I am and what this reading is. So if you're new here to the podcast as well, this will be valuable for you. And if you're returning and you already know me, thank you for listening again. Before we get into the reading, I have one quick announcement. You may have heard me share already about my new beta coaching program, SCALE. SCALE is an acronym that stands for Systems, Courses, Automation, Leadership, and Expansion. It is a 6-month private container for entrepreneurs who are established in their business and are ready to scale, to grow their business, to go into a much larger arena in terms of how many customers you're serving. And we need to get your business ready to handle the influx of customers, traffic, attention that you want to call in. And we need to do this on the back end before these people get here. And that's what I'm going to help you do in SCALE. SCALE is going to become a mastermind and the price point is going to go up. But because this is a beta offer, I am taking 5 people through the program one-on-one at a greatly reduced price point in order to test the program and to get feedback. So if you have been interested in working with me one-on-one, or if you are at that point in your business where you are serving all the customers you can possibly serve, either one-on-one or with your done-for-you services, and you know you are ready to serve way more people, but you're not set up to serve a greater number of people in your business, this program would be exactly the thing you need to help you make that transition. So I'm going to put the link for that in the show notes. I would love to support you with that. And without further ado, let's get into your Pisces season reading for the collective. certified life and business coach, and I help heart-centered service providers, creatives, and spiritual practitioners build the lives and businesses of their dreams. Every first day of a new astrological season, I go live with an oracle card reading for the collective. So if you're a creative, if you're an artist, if you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, or you're in the market to become one, and you want to know what Pisces season has in store for you, you're in the right place. And as I said, I drop these readings every time a new season starts. So once a month, but not on the first of the month, on the first of the astrological season. If you're new to these readings, I always do the same 6 questions in the same order using the same deck. I'm reading from the Sacred Rebels Oracle, and the cards have been prayed over and shuffled, and I shuffle until the cards jump out. I never know who these readings are for, so if it's for you, take it. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. At the end, we wrap up with a shadow card for the shadow work of the season, and with that, I'm just going to go ahead and jump on into the cards. So we always start with what's going on for you right now. Where are you at? What's happening? And the card that came up for us right now is every journey starts with a single step. So what this card talks about is you're going somewhere. You're starting something. It might be a physical trip, but it's more likely a new journey in your life. It's a project. It's something that you're trying to build. It's a business you're starting. It's a creative project. It's a new phase of your life. And the physical manifestation of this journey is a result of the inner work that you've been doing. And you may be feeling frustrated or like hung up on the idea that you feel like you should be farther along by now. You feel like I've already done so much work. I've been thinking about this, feeling about this, meditating on it, journaling about it, taking steps for so long. And I'm expecting to see more physical results than I'm seeing right now. I'm pressuring myself to be farther along than I am right now. And this oracle wants you to know that, first of all, the steps that you're making right now are big. The thing that you're doing right now, this new phase, this new thing that you're starting, it is exactly where you're supposed to be. It is for your highest good. It's also for the highest good of the collective. So if this is a business that you're starting, something that you're doing to like help other people, Spirit says, yes, you're on the right track. This thing is valuable. It is needed. It is going to be beneficial for the collective and for you. You are encouraged and supported in doing it. And every journey starts with a single step. You're going to have to take these small steps at the beginning, and it might not feel like a lot, but every single small step that you're taking is compounding. It is getting you somewhere. It is leading up to the outcome that you want it to lead up to. Don't be discouraged. Take heart. Keep going. You're doing exactly the right thing. And it's just like a big yes sign. And there also may be some nerves around this new phase, this new step, this thing that you're starting in your life. You may be feeling nervous about where it will take you. And you also might be feeling nervous about starting because you don't know how it's going to all turn out. But that's the thing about a journey. You don't have to know every single thing that's going to happen on the path. It's not about you knowing every single step you're going to take and how it's all going to turn out. The most formative parts of this process, of this journey for you, are actually going to be you freestyling, you winging it, you encountering steps along your path and learning as you go and adjusting as you go and making decisions as you go, building self-trust as you go. Everything that you need for this, you already have. You're ready for all of it. And this message of like you already have everything you need is very reinforced across this whole reading. That's going to come up for you again. The overall vibe of this Pisces season reading, it's really interesting because Pisces is such a dreamy sign, right? Pisces is the end of the zodiac. It's the culmination of all of the wisdom of all of the other signs coming together into this really dreamy place. But sometimes Pisces has trouble with action. It can get bogged down and struggle with implementation. Pisces can get it's very happy in the dream state, but it can also struggle with a lot of indecision around how do I bring this dream into reality? And what this a reading across the board is saying is like, you have these dreams for a reason and you're actually ready now. You're ready to take these steps. And so if there's any part of you that's feeling like you're not ready yet because you don't know how it's all going to turn out, you don't need to know how it's going to turn out. If there's any part of you that's thinking, I'm not ready yet because I don't have the things that I'm going to need at step 20. No, you don't have the things you're going to need at step 20. You're going to build the things you need for step 20 in steps 0 through 19. You've got to take these preliminary steps. You've got to encourage yourself and reassure yourself and big up yourself every single step of the way, no matter how small the steps are. Something that's really common when people come into my world, everyone who works with me knows that celebration is a huge thing. I'm always talking about how are you going to celebrate this milestone. Every Friday in my membership, we do weekly celebrations. What have you done this week that we can celebrate? And the reason I do it is because almost everyone I work with is really good at congratulating other people, but we have a hard time giving ourselves acknowledgement for the things we've done. If you're not giving yourself acknowledgement for every single small step on the path, if you're not celebrating each small milestone and you're only focused on how far you have to go, it's really easy to start feeling bogged down and to start feeling like you're so far away from your goal and that nothing's happening. But it's not that nothing's happening. Things are happening, but you're not recognizing them. You're not giving yourself credit for them. We need to be giving ourselves credit, celebration, encouragement for every single small step that we're taking on the path, because that's going to keep us going. It's going to keep us heartened and energized for every small step that we have yet to take. So where you're at right now is you've been making some steps, or you've been thinking about it a lot. You've been doing a lot of inner work to get ready for what's coming next, and you're ready now. And it is time to start. It is time to embark on this. It is for your highest good. Spirit is giving you the thumbs up. There's nothing but green lights ahead. Like, go, do it. It's time. You have everything you need to start the journey. Don't worry about what you're going to bring with you and what you're going to leave behind. Just go and trust that everything is going to unfold the way that it's meant to. There's another big energy across the board in this reading of surrendering to the process rather than trying to plan everything out with your logic. You just need to go. It's just time to take these steps. So what's the block for that? The block is following your own rhythm. And this card talks about your own internal sense of when it's time to move, when it's time to rest, when it's time to be active, when it's time to wait. And when we're not trusting our inner rhythm, when we're not trusting our inner knowing of when it's time to do stuff, we're experiencing a lot of anxiety. So all of the anxiety you feel about, like, I want to start. I know it's time to start. I have everything I need to start, but there's also something inside me saying it's not time yet. I need to wait. That friction, that mismatch of goals is producing anxiety in your system. And that anxiety will be alleviated when you decide to trust your own inner rhythm. And it's also about trusting your own inner knowing of when it's time to do what and what steps you're going to take, even and especially when it's different from what other people say. So if other people say, well, you should do things in this order, you should be farther along by now, you should have figured this out already, or you should do this in this order, you should do it my way, you should work on my schedule, whatever you think these shoulds are, we don't need them. They are not helpful for you right now. Your inner knowing of when it's time to move, when it's time to rest, when it's time to act is all the information that you need. And the block right now is you not necessarily trusting your own inner knowing of when it's time to move and when it's time to rest. This card is also big, what is for you cannot miss you vibes. And if there's part of you that is hesitating on moving because you don't think you have everything you need yet, you gotta go. It's time to take the steps. If there's a part of you that's taking the steps, but you feel frustrated and in a hurry and like you're not getting there fast enough, Spirit is like, no, this is exactly the pace that it's supposed to be on, because what's for you can't miss you. You're on your own path, on your own timing. Stop worrying about other people's timing. Everything that's for you is right on track. Your drum, your rhythm, your beat is exactly right, and it's exactly the one you need to follow. So the block is you gotta trust your own rhythm, your own inner sense of, is it time? So if there's part of you right now with this, every journey starts with a single step that's like, oh, I wanna start this thing, and then all your anxiety comes up and says, but no, but I can't, but not yet, but I have to wait, but I have to gather more data, but I need more information, but I need to do more prep work. All of that is fear and anxiety. That's going to be reiterated again in this reading as well. So Spirit says no. You know what time it is. Act like you know what time it is.
Hey, entrepreneur, I don't care what stage of business you're in. If you're doing it alone, you're doing it wrong. We need people. We need people in our corner. We need outside eyes. We need someone to go to. We need that in case of emergency break glass person that we can call when we're stuck or frustrated or overwhelmed, when we aren't sure what move to make, or when we just want to celebrate our accomplishments. We need the right people on our team. No one who has ever built a big, successful business does it alone. You should not be trying to do it all alone. You need people in your corner because owning and running a business might be one of the hardest things you ever do. And most people in your life simply won't be able to relate or guide you if they've never done what you're trying to do. Ideally, I'd like to see you in one-on-one coaching so that I can really be a partner to you behind the scenes in the day-to-day of your business and walk alongside you through every season, every stage, even into the nitty-gritty details. But if you're not ready for that, at the very least, I want you to get into the Elemental Entrepreneurship Coven. Elemental Entrepreneurship Coven is the #1 resource you need for success as a heart-centered creative entrepreneur. There is truly nothing else like it on the market. It's a hybrid of courses, group coaching, a mastermind, and a brilliant supportive community all in one. Joining the Coven will connect you to teaching and tools designed to guide you through every single step of building and scaling your business to 6 figures. No more questioning what to do all by yourself. No more buying random one-off courses on different topics and trying to patchwork it all together. Every single topic you need is covered. We're talking from legal structure to contracts to branding to marketing to product development, launching, you name it, it's in here. Can you imagine never having to buy another course again because you've already got it all under one roof, and if you need something, you can just search it and find it? That alone is worth the investment. But you also get access to bi-weekly, high-impact live group coaching sessions with me, ongoing workshops with guest experts, and our private Facebook group so that you can stop doing business alone. And you should. An Elemental Entrepreneurship Coven is one amazing way that you can do that. Go to intuitiveedgecoaching.com/coven, COVEN, to join today. And as a special thank you for being a listener to the pod, simply enter the code podcast on any checkout page for 11% off your first 3 months of membership at any level. That's intuitiveedgecoaching.com/coven and enter the code podcast at checkout. I can't wait to help you grow your business so that you can make a bigger impact, help more people, share your gifts with a larger audience, and make the money you deserve to be making for your gifts, skills, and talents. But most of all, I want to see you so confident and so self-assured that you are just as talented at running a business as you are at the thing you do. And that is within reach when you join the Coven. So I can't wait to see you inside. Let's get back to the show.
What happens when you act like you know what time it is? What is the gift that comes out of removing this block? The gift is what is already within you. This is an amplifier of every journey starts with a single step. You have everything you need right now. You don't need another certification. You don't need to go learn more things. You don't need more guidance. You don't need more time to get polished. You don't need more. No, whatever it is that you need to be successful, you already have it. Now, here's the other hard thing about that, but this is a gift. Hear me out. There's a little bit of grief in acknowledging that what we need to get started is already within us, because there is something intoxicating and kind of dreamy and enjoyable about believing that there's something out there that's going to make it easier, that there's a better solution, that there's another answer, that there is something out there that's going to help us. And we get to stay in student and research mode to go find it. And it can be exciting, right? It can have a little treasure hunt energy of like, I'm looking for the answers that are going to solve all of this for me. I'm going to try all of these things. My business owners know we can really easily get into trying strategy after strategy in rapid fire order, and none of them are working, but they're not working because we're not giving any one strategy enough time to work. We're just constantly searching for and implementing new strategies. Certification hunting, feeling like I need to know more. I'm not going to be ready until I learn a new skill or gain a new certification or get this other thing that I think is going to make me more qualified and be seen as more of an expert. That is a really comfortable place for a lot of us to hang out and hide our gifts. And a lot of us are very comfortable in research gathering mode, in student mode, in I'm not ready yet mode. To accept that we have everything we need to start right now means we give up the search. And there can be some grief in giving up the search. We like the search. The search is fun. The search is comforting. The search is where we've been hiding for a long time. The search is where we've been, laying low and playing small for a long time. That has to go. It's time for an acknowledgement that every single thing you need, you already have within you. And it's not just that. It's like all of your life experiences leading up to this moment have been preparing you for this thing that you're about to start, for this journey that you're about to take. It's not just the training, it's not just the skills, it's everything. It's all of the relationships, it's all of the traumatic events, it's all of the joys, it's all of the hardships. Everything you've been through has been preparing you to be the person who takes this journey right now. You have everything you need. You're just going to have to get going. And when you trust that every journey starts with a single step and that it's okay for you to be making these small steps and trusting the process and believing that when you take these small steps, it's leading you exactly where you need to go. When you release the anxiety about timing and settle into trusting your own rhythm, and then you can say, okay, it's me on my path, doing my thing, expressing myself exactly the way I need to, and I don't need anything outside of me anymore to help me. I'm ready to start. I'm ready to take these steps. I'm ready for this next level. I'm ready for this growth. Then all of these beautiful things are going to start to come in for you. But if there's any part of you that's been doubting that you're not ready yet because you need to learn more stuff or gather more resources, Spirit says no. The gift of this next phase is you just trusting, I got to be ready right now. There's no more time to prepare. I got to go with what I've got. What is the energy of how we deal with the outside world and other people during this time? It is she feels, she knows. And this card talks about you following and trusting your intuition, your inner knowing. This is not logical. This is your deep inner knowing, Pisces vibes, right? I don't know how I know, I just know. And I know like I know in my bones that this is what's true for me and this is what's right. People are like, how do you know? I don't know. I just know. People are like, well, don't you think you should do it this way? No, I don't know why. I just know this is the way I'm supposed to be doing it. It is quiet. It is internal. It doesn't feel like mind chatter. It feels like gut certainty. I know what I need to be doing. So we talk about this a lot. If there are people in your life who always try to like ask you a bunch of questions, maybe it's well-meaning, but they're trying to kind of poke holes, or, they're concerned about how it's all going to work out. And so they're asking you all the details. If that's not helpful for you right now, don't tell those people what you're doing. Stay in your own lane. Only talk to people who really support your intuitive knowing. And if you tell them, hey, I'm doing this thing, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know it's time for me to do it. If they're going to say anything other than, fuck yeah, that's awesome, congratulations, you should do that, don't tell them. Only talk to the people who are going to support you right now about this thing that you're doing. Now, the other thing that this card talks about is long-term happiness and short-term, I don't like using the word sacrifice, but it might feel a little like short-term sacrifice. So there may be a period of time where you can't kick it as much, where you can't go out like you used to, where you can't spend money like you used to, where you maybe are not, maybe it's that you're not drinking, maybe it's that you're not like going out with friends on the weekends. It is a short-term period of kind of buckle down on this journey in favor of your long-term happiness and being willing to make whatever changes are necessary right now in order to get the thing that you want long term. And so in this guidance for how we deal with other people right now, some of it may be like explaining to your friends that you have this intuitive knowing that you need to not be as social right now, or that you can't go out drinking, that you can't go on the friends trip and spend the money because you need to be putting everything you've got into your project right now. And really enlisting the help of people who are going to support you in that and who are going to encourage you in this period of buckle down. Making these short-term concessions for your long-term happiness, considering what are the things that are going to yield me the biggest gains on this journey. That's where we need to be right now, and kind of, again, surrendering to the process of what is going to work for you long-term. Your inner knowing of what is going to be the best thing for you, what is going to give you the outcomes that you're looking for on this journey, and taking those steps now, even and especially if it means maybe changing a little bit of how you're showing up, how you're moving socially, stuff with your money and your time. There's going to need to be some changes during this season, and it's not forever, but it is what you need to do right now to really get honed in on the journey that you're taking the steps that you need to take, trusting and honoring your inner rhythm, and hearing what is already within you that is ready to come out. Just may require a short period of kind of separation and focusing inward on what you need to do. A message from your spirit guides and your higher self about this process is relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. So first, what's the hold of darkness? The hold of darkness is fear. This card talks about how you are really right at the precipice. All of this just keeps saying like you're on the verge of it, this up level, this big shift. All these manifestations that you've been doing inner work for are about to come through in the physical. You've been frustrated. You've been banging your head against the wall. You've been like, when is it going to happen? You're going to trust yourself. You're going to trust the dignity of your timing. You're going to believe that you already have everything you need. You're going to go through a season of focusing inward, and you're going to recognize that you are on the precipice of this huge up level. Now, the thing about huge up levels is that they're fucking scary. So even if this is exactly what you've been asking for, it is going to take you out of your comfort zone. It's going to take you out of your habituated ways of being. It's going to take you out of where you feel safe. You're going to be moved into a literal higher voltage of reality. You're going to have more opportunities. You're going to have more eyes on you. You're going to make more money. And for you to move into this next phase, you're going to have to make some choices that people around you might think are a little crazy. They might not make sense to the outside observer. And so again, back to the way of dealing with outside people is like, I got to not be around so much because I don't need a lot of external input right now. I don't need to have a lot of conversations with people who might try to make me question the things that I'm doing, because to an outside eye, these moves may look a little confusing, right? Maybe it means like you're quitting a job to focus in on what you want, or you're, leaving a relationship, you're moving across the country, you're moving to a new city where you don't know anyone. Like these decisions that you're making, these moves that you're making towards your dreams might look a little illogical or irrational to people around you who don't know how long you've been doing the inner work to prepare for these moves. So again, back to this idea that the moves feel small. They feel small to you because you're in your own head and you know all the things that have led up to them. They're gonna feel kind of big to people outside who are like, where did this come from? You're like, literally, this is all I've been thinking about for months or years, but it's going to seem potentially kind of big to them. And so there may be people around who would look at the steps that you're taking and think, this is huge, this is big, this is maybe dangerous, this is erratic, and you just have to know your own timing. You have to know that what you need is within you. You have to make these steps. The other thing that's going to come up is like, all of the ways that you've kept yourself small, all of the ways that you kept yourself safe, all of the ways that you've kept yourself kind of dulled down to life, they're all going to leave when you stop allowing fear to call the shots. And that's scary. Like, how will I numb myself? How will I stay small? How will I keep myself protected? And the answer is you won't. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to step into this larger playing field of life, this larger field of attention, money, recognition. All of this stuff is going to happen, and it's going to feel like exposure on a new level. And it's always interesting to note there are these things that we want, right? These desires that we have, these things we think we want, these things that we get into our head about craving, desiring, wanting for ourselves. And then when we have it, we realize like, oh, this is really scary. It's really a scary thing to be seen by more people. It's really a scary thing to have more customers. It's really a scary thing to open myself up to more people on the internet. All of this can be very exposing. And if you feel all of this stuff come up and you get scared and you feel overwhelmed and you think, I can't do this, that's the hold of darkness. All of the reflexive impulses that are going to plan for it, that are going to rise up in you as you get close to this manifestation, that say, this is too much for me, I'm too scared, this is too big, I can't do this. All of those things, you're going to have to be with them. You're going to have to sit with them. You're going to have to feel them and experience them and not back down. You should expect that you will feel that way. And you should also recognize that those feelings are not a blueprint for the steps you should take. They're not an action plan. They're just feelings, right? There's an acronym, right? Something that says fear can mean forget everything and run, or it can mean face everything and rise. When you feel fear, those are your options. Just forget all the steps you've been taking, forget everything you've been trying to do, and run in the opposite direction back to your comfort zone, or face all of the difficult feelings about exposure and money and opportunity and visibility that will come up. Face all of the fears that you have about being seen as an expert. Face all of the fears that you have about standing in your power, about being an authority. Face all of the fears that you have about making more money and having more people comment on your stuff. Everything that's going to come up, you can face it and rise to the occasion of it. You can choose that when these feelings come up, they are a sign that you're on the right path. And this is a really important thing to recognize, because sometimes we misinterpret the data of our emotions, right? So we can say, well, I'm scared. That must mean I'm not ready. No, I'm scared. That must mean I'm on the right track. That must mean I'm in a new zone. Just like if we're confused or we're frustrated, we can take that to mean I'm not good at this, I should give up. Or we can take that to mean this means I'm learning. If we're never confused and we're never frustrated, we're never getting new information. So confusion and maybe feeling a little mentally overwhelmed, feeling a little frustrated that we're trying to get something and it's not happening yet, we can take that data to mean this means I'm learning right now. This confusion is what learning feels like. This is how I know my brain is getting new wrinkles. This is a good thing. We want to make sure that we're interpreting the data of our emotions in a way that keeps us moving forward versus a way that shuts us down. Anticipate that you will be scared. And I don't say that to freak us out, but if we are thinking, if I'm ready, that means I'm not going to be scared. And if I'm scared, that must mean I'm not ready. That's how we stay small. It is better to anticipate. Of course I'm going to be scared when I step into a higher voltage of reality. Of course I'm going to be scared when I'm facing situations I've never faced before, when I'm dealing with more people, more customers, more visibility, more opportunity, more money than I've ever managed before. Yeah, that's going to come with some trepidation, and that's normal. I am strong enough to handle it. I'm a big enough container to hold it. When those things come, I will remind myself that I am on a journey, that I don't know where it's headed, that I can trust the dignity of my own timing, that I have everything I need within me and around me to support me on this journey, that if I need to focus and buckle down and go inward and resource myself, I know how to do that. I have everything I need. So Spirit is like pushing you out of the nest right now. It is time. You've been gestating on this long enough. You know what you need to do. You know where you need to go. You know how you need to grow. It is time for you to move forward with it. And if that couldn't be any more clear, the final message for how to bring this into form, into the 3D, is just bring it into form. Spirit says just do it. It is the Nike swoosh of cards. It says you just have to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it right now. It is time for you to make this thing. If you've been wanting to start a business, write a book, drop an album, create some creative project, move, whatever it is that you've been thinking about doing, Spirit is like, it is time for you to do it. We don't just need your dreams, we need your action. We don't just need your ideas for the thing, we actually need the thing. And you need the thing because creating it is going to help you grow into the next version of yourself. But what's bigger than that is humanity needs the thing. We collectively need the thing. We're all out here struggling, waiting for you to come drop this thing that we've all been waiting for to come from you. You have customers, you have fans, you have an audience, you have people out there who are needing what you have right now that you're going to be able to touch with your work in your life. And they're all just waiting for you to take the steps. So whatever it is that you need to do to take the steps to bring this idea to form, you are getting a push. You are getting a not just a nudge, it is a full push out of the next nest from Spirit with this reading. You've got everything you need. It's time right now. We're all out here waiting for it. Your audience of adoring fans is waiting in the lobby for you to open the doors to the show. We're all ready for your work. Now you just need to actually make the shit. So sit down at your desk, please, and get the shit out, because apparently we're all going to love it. So in our final card, I ask, what is the shadow for this that we need to work with this season? And fitting for Pisces, the shadow is dare to dream. Can I focus this? Will it focus? Maybe. Holographic. All right. So the shadow is dare to dream. And this card talks about the fear that your dreams are too big for you. They are not. You have your dreams for a reason. We do not have our desires to torture us. We have our desires for a reason. We have these desires so that we can act on them. We have these desires to show us a roadmap of what we're meant to be, do, and have in this lifetime. There is nothing that you want that is too big for you. There is nothing that you're dreaming of that's impossible. You have these dreams because you're meant to have them. And so it just feels like all of these cards fit together so well and so clearly to me that there's been a part of you that's felt like maybe what you want is too much. Maybe you're too far away from it. Maybe you can't have this manifestation because it's too big, it's too challenging, it's too whatever. Spirit says no. Spirit says, you are ready. Take the steps you need to take. Trust the dignity of your own timing. Listen to your own rhythm of when it's time to rest, when it's time to act, when it's time to move, when it's time to stop. And understand that you have everything you need already. You don't need anything more. You need no more training, no more certifications, no more guidance. You are ready to start right now. It is going to require a little inward period of focusing on everything that you need to do right now and focusing on your long-term happiness and building for the future. Expect that you're going to get scared sometimes, and when you do, plan to stay with those feelings, resource yourself through them, and keep going and keep crafting. Keep taking the steps. Keep putting the work out there. Just one foot in front of the other. Keep going because your dreams are calling you. They're ready. It is time. And there's no better time for this. We're in Pisces season, right? This dreamy season that is culmination of everything that we've experienced and all coming together to form this vision, this dream for your future. If you've been in indecision, the message is the dream is accurate. It's time to act. And we want you to take those steps to put yourself in position so that when Aries season hits, when we kick off the astrological new year, when spring hits, you are like a slingshot catapulting yourself forward with all of this energy and momentum behind you from the steps that you took this month. So that's what I have for us for Pisces season. This, I don't know how you feel, but this feels like good news to me because I do feel like I have been working on stuff for a long time that I feel frustrated hasn't come to fruition yet. And just reading this first message that Spirit says it's all coming, the work that you've been doing is about to pay off. You might feel far away, but you're like inches away from your manifestation. Just keep going. That is a really comforting message for me to hear right now. So I hope that it feels the same way to you. I would, as always, love your comments, your feedback. You can leave me comments in the box below if you're watching this on YouTube. You can go over to YouTube and leave me comments if you're listening to this on the podcast. You can always email me intuitiveedgecoaching@gmail.com and let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, love you. Bye.
That's our episode for today. Thank you, as always, for being here and for listening to the podcast. I know there are so many things that you could be doing with your time, so many things you could be listening to. It is an honor that you choose to be here. Connect with me on Instagram @IntuitiveEdgeCoaching. Have a great day.